Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the MeanGene Show. Hope you're enjoying your last Saturday here in the month of July. We have another great show planned for you tonight. We will continue with our Pro Football Hall of Fame countdown to enshrinement. Tonight, our focus will be on the Oakland Raiders, Los Angeles Raiders, and of course, the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders fans, you do not want to miss this show. Next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday will be dedicated to this year's newly inducted class of 2020 and 2021 Pro Football Hall of Famers. 2 weeks ago, we featured Donnie Shell and Steve Hutchinson. Both of them will be inducted next weekend. Last week, you heard sound bites from newly inducted Hall of Famers John Lynch and Tom Flores. Tonight, we will play the entire Tom Flores interview. Tom Flores sat down with members of the media, including the MeanGene Show, and answered a ton of questions pertaining to his induction to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. In the second half of the show, we will air the entire media interview with former Raiders and new Pro Football Hall of Famer Charles Woodson. The MeanGene Show is brought to you by Presidential Limousine by Captain. It's the official limousine service of the MeanGene Show. There's absolutely no way you can experience Las Vegas until you ride in the Presidential Limousine by Captain. If you're coming to Las Vegas, make your reservations now by calling 702-438-5466, or you can simply text them at 702-410-6057, and they will respond right away. The show is also brought to you by the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. Experience the award-winning soul of Motown, a high-energy concert-style musical tribute celebrating Motown legends. This is a must-see show during your Las Vegas vacation getaway. For reservations, call 888-796-3564. The Pro Football Hall of Fame announced last week that all speeches will be timed for 6 minutes, and at the 8-minute mark, they will play the Academy Award-style music and basically cut off the speech. On Saturday night, there will be 17 speeches. Sunday night, there will be an additional 7 speeches. Now, the last time the Hall had an induction ceremony, tight end Tony Gonzalez spoke for 40 minutes, and safety Ed Reed for over 35 minutes as the members of the class of 2019. So you can understand why there's a time limit this year. And now let's introduce Tom Flores. Tom Flores was the NFL's first minority head coach to win a Super Bowl, winning twice. Flores led the Raiders as a wild card playoff team to win the Super Bowl 15 championship over the Philadelphia Eagles, 27-10. I remember that game. This was the first wild card team to win the Super Bowl and the only team to win 4 postseason games en route to a title until the Denver Broncos accomplished that same feat in 1997. Flores then moved with the team to Los Angeles in 1982, and in the 1983 season, Flores led the Raiders to another Super Bowl victory. This was Super Bowl 18. At the time, they defeated the Washington Redskins 38-9. I remember that game as well. He was named Coach of the Year, AFC Coach of the Year by the United Press International and the Football Writers Association in 1982. Here's Tom Flores, sit-down interview with the media regarding his induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Welcome to this session. We got almost 30 people eager to talk to you and hear from you. So we're just going to get rolling right away here, and let's start with Aaron Harris, please. And Fago, you'll be next.
Thanks for your time, Coach. Having played in the American Football League, was there one particular moment in which you felt that the league was really gaining momentum and sort of changing the opinion that the NFL had of it?
Yeah, that happened about after we had established ourselves a little better, about the middle of that 10-year period, maybe years 4 and 5, when we were really starting to play well and we were organized better, and there was, we were being paid better, and we didn't have to wait at the bank to have our checks cashed. So we were more solid as a league, and we started feeling pretty good about ourselves. Yeah, no question about it. Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, Coach?
Good. I'm doing great.
What words of wisdom could you give anybody that feels doubtful about taking that leap of faith and going after their dreams?
Well, there's not much you can. I don't think you can. They've got to believe it. They've got to be strong. They got to believe it in what they really want, and think it's within reach, and then go for it. I mean, I don't know if there's any words that you can put into it other than give it your best shot. You only have, we only live once, and I was fortunate. I had 3 shots at it, and on the 3rd shot, I said, well, this new league is starting up, and maybe I'll give it one more chance. I don't owe anybody any money. I could work the rest of my life, and that was 61 years ago, and I'm still at it.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet.
Josh, and then Mark Holmes.
And Tom, congratulations. Just what was it like for you as coaching for Al Davis? What was that? What was that? What were the challenges of that? What were the good parts about that? Just obviously a complicated person to coach.
Well, memorable. It was arduous. It was an incredible journey with Al. I started out with him when he first came into the American Football League as a general manager and coach with the Raiders. He had been with the Chargers for a couple of years, and that's when I first met him. And I was with him and watched him grow from assistant coach to a head coach to a league commissioner, back as an owner, and to an incredible career. But he was tough. He was demanding. He was fearless, and but you had to know him, and I got to know him pretty well. And once you knew him, you knew his good things and his bad things, and he had so many good things to offer.
Congratulations, Coach. Mark Holmes from Joe Blue Sports Report. Congratulations on being in the Hall of Fame and now being distinctive of a person that being one of 2 people that have been a player, assistant coach, a head coach, and now a Hall of Famer, you and Mike Ditka being those 2, as well as being the first Mexican-American player in the NFL. Did that put any added pressure on you personally? And one other final thing, after taking over for John Madden, who was a very in-your-face coach, your demeanor seemed much more quieter and calmer. Was that really the case, or was that just for the public eye?
Well, first of all, to answer your second question, that's what I am. I am what I am. I was that way as a player. As a person, I was, quiet and under control. John was that way as a person himself. So he took on the field what he was. I took on the field what I was. And I remember talking to Al Davis. I said, I'm not John. As far as the emotional part is, he said, I know that. He said, but I hired you to win. And I worked for John for 7 years as his assistant. So I know all the good parts about John, and it was helpful to me as a head coach. And so that was my feeling there. As far as the first part of your question was the first of what was that? The first part of the question?
Oh, the first Mexican-American quarterback in the NFL.
Oh yeah. Well, it wasn't as big a thing when I first started. I never thought about it. I never felt I was hired because of my ethnic background. I was hired because of what I could do on the field as a player and as a coach. And I still feel that way. I mean, first of all, if you're, it doesn't matter what color you are, you got to be ready to perform, and you got to be able to win. Otherwise, you're going to be unemployed, whatever color you are. and fortunately, I was lucky enough to and worthy enough and good enough, I guess, to win enough and establish myself. And now here I am. There you go.
Thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
All right, Ed, and after Ed will be Levi Edwards.
Hey, Coach, it's Ed Graney from the Review Journal in Las Vegas. We talked to Charles Woodson yesterday about kind of his definition of a Raider. He always points to the alumni and the veterans that helped him out. Beyond kind of the commitment to excellence and everything we've always heard What was your definition as a Raider, and what do you think they stood for when you were there?
Well, I thought we were, the Raider, first of all, we were a pretty tight family. And I say family because that's what we were like. The old core, the Raider Nation is a family, a very powerful family, because we believe in each other, and we like to be the underdogs. We like the honoriness look that we have. It looks like Halloween every Sunday afternoon when we play in Oakland. We like that. That was our. It kind of little by little became our way of life, and little by little, wherever we went in this country, there they were. The Raider Nation was there, so we were very proud of that. In fact, I remember driving on a bus once, pulling up to the stadium, and here they are, the Raider Nation. I looked around the bus at some of these guys, and some of the young ones especially, and the look in their eye was worth it, because they just said, "Wow, here we are," and all the way to the other side of the country, and look at this. And they were pretty enamored by that, and I thought it was great. It was a great thing to have.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Levi Edwards, and then John Shearer, you're next.
Tom, Levi Edwards with Raiders.com. Of course, over your 2 Super Bowl wins as a head coach. Looking back over your Hall of Fame career, would you say that the first one in 80 was more difficult, or would you say that the one in 84, with everything that was going on with the move to Los Angeles, which one do you kind of look at and say this was a lot harder to achieve, or do you put them on the same playing level?
Well, no, they were different. The 81 was tough, because we were kind of in a rebuilding mode. We had traded away Kenny Stabler. We had a lot of veteran players, and not a lot of young players. We traded for Kenny King. He was one of our young running backs. But Upshaw and Shell had one more good year to give us, and we picked up guys like Bobby Chandler, Burgess Jones, and Cedric Hardman, and they were veterans that had a year or two left in their tank, and they gave it to us. We struggled, and we struggled all the way through, and then towards the end of the year, I started feeling pretty good about ourselves, because we said, "Hey, we're playing well." We had some ups and downs, but so did everybody else. And we resurrected Jim Plunkett. He came through like a champ for us, made big plays in big games. I thought that was a lot tougher than 83 season in Los Angeles. The thing about that was that I lived in a hotel for 14 months, and that was tough. That was tough on me and my family. My family was up north, and I was in Los Angeles, and it was not a good atmosphere, but we persevered, and we had a good team, though, that we were pretty loaded as far as good players.
Hello, Mr. Flores. It's an absolute honor, first of all, to get to talk to you. Congratulations on the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
So do you think the current state of the Raiders, do you think they have an opportunity to go to a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl? And have you talked to Coach Gruden and kind of given him any advice on coaching, seeing as he's struggled a little bit since he's gotten back into the NFL? Thank you.
Well, I certainly feel that they have a chance to get to the end, to get to the Super Bowl, but they got to prove it. They've worked hard. They're working hard. They've got some good talent. They've got to. My feeling is they've got to stay unified. And there's been so many changes: offensive coordinator changes, head coaching changes, player changes. You can't. And you do too many changes, it's not good for your team. Not good for your continuity. And John certainly knows how to win. He's won before and been there before. Been in that atmosphere. So that's not nothing new. It's just a matter of getting it done. And I think they can do it. What better place than Las Vegas for the Raiders? Because they kind of fit the mode of the city. The city knows that they can support a championship team to have it done so with a hockey team. So I'm looking forward to it. And it's just, the old saying, every team in America right now, every NFL team in America is dreaming the same dream, and that's the Super Bowl. And why not?
Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Ray Lee and then Phil Jones.
Hi, Mr. Flores.
All right.
Ray Lee here with KDWN 101.5 FM, 720 AM, the Talk of Las Vegas. First off, I wanted to congratulate you on being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Of course, it's such an honor to get to speak with you today, as I have great respect for you. My question for you is, in taking a walk down memory lane, I can only imagine the memories and hardships that you overcame as a pro footballer, assistant coach, and head coach. If you got the chance to revisit any of those memories, what would they be and why?
Yeah, there's so many memories. I remember our very first day ever in the history of the Raiders in Santa Cruz, California. There were 11 quarterbacks in training camp. 11. We couldn't even all get in one picture. And now, 61 years later, you look back and say, wow, look what we've done in that time. Look how many ups and how many fun times we've had, how many down times we've had, but we've always persevered. Look what this crazy game has grown to. Look at what the Raiders have grown to. And it's hard to imagine when I saw the new stadium in Vegas, your beautiful stadium. I must have said wow 100 times. Wow, wow. Every time I turn around, I said, oh, look at that. We had a little Quonset hut that we practiced in. We had a field that was sinking on one side that if a player ran it down and out, he ran out of sight because the field was so lopsided. So all the things that have happened for the good, and it's a great sport, and the people enjoy it, and got to keep doing it. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders. Thank you. Love it. And congrats again.
You bet.
Good afternoon, Coach. How you doing?
Hey, Phil. I'm doing good. You?
Hey, it's an honor to be sitting here speaking with you. Two questions. If you could probably take us back to that first Super Bowl that you won, what went through your mind? And with everything that's been circling around the Raiders' current quarterback, Derek Carr, with the whole, is he good enough? Why is it trade talks, this and that? What would you say to him to make sure he stays focused this year and he can help lead that Vegas Raider team to a playoff?
Well, the first thing to Derek is Derek's a very positive thinking guy. I mean, he's a team oriented. He's worked hard. He's been under. I really feel that he has had so many ups and downs in his short career because of all the different changes and coordinators and head coaches. This is the first time in his career that he's had the same type of system any length of time. I think that will help, especially if the offensive line gets back to its prominence that they need to be. You can't do it alone as a quarterback. You need that offensive line, and he certainly is competitive enough. And I think if you can get him to the fourth quarter, he knows how he can win in the fourth quarter. It's in between there that sometimes he's had issues. So I don't think there's any question that he can win. Whether he can win the big one, I don't know. I think that is. You never know. I mean, we didn't know what we had when we brought Jim Plunkett back, and he had already been around the league for over 10 years. So, and he was able to deliver two Super Bowls for us. So, a lot of times, Kurt Warner, look at his career and where he came from, and working in a grocery store or something, and all of a sudden there he is. But it's just I don't think there's any question. I think that Derek Carr has a physical ability. I can't tell you about the rest of it because I'm not around him every day. As far as my feelings on the field, I tell you, there's a lot of memories that go through your mind when you're on the field and the game is almost over and you realize you're a world champion. And they go back all the way back to your childhood, all the way back to high school. Some of the craziest things in the world go through your mind. But you all of a sudden, you feel this warm glow and you realize, we're world champs. We did it. And it wasn't I did it. We did it. We did it. So it's a great feeling. And I hope we have it again.
Well, congratulations, Coach.
Thank you. You bet.
Chris Daly, then Alex Fleming.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And to stay on topic with that 1980 season when you led the Raiders to a Super Bowl win over the Philadelphia Eagles, being the first wild card team to ever win a Super Bowl. Just what set that team apart from all your other teams? Because you touched base about how it's a really old team, a lot of guys that you were unsure about. So what set that team apart?
Well, we had a lot of grit. That team. There was a lot of scars and scabs on everybody's bodies and minds because we had all bounced around a little bit, and we've been at the bottom of the pile and resurrected ourselves and it was my second year as a head coach, and we were struggling. We were struggling very hard, but I knew we had to do something. Mr. Al Davis knew that he was not very happy, and you had to know him when he wasn't very happy. That wasn't a good feeling. So, but I said, we can't. We're not doing anything wrong. We're the worst thing you can do when things are going badly is change everything, because you're not geared to change everything. You got to do what you believe in, what your players believe in, and so we just have to do it better. And we had to practice better and concentrate and get rid of the rest of. So we kind of went into our own shell and just did what we had to do. And little by little, we won and we won here and won there and won there, and all of a sudden we're in the playoffs. And once you get in the playoffs, I always told players, once you're in the playoffs, anything can happen. And anything happened that year. And we were able to win as a wild card, as the extra game on the road, and did it with style and class and dignity.
Levi, last question. It's all yours.
Thank you, Coach Flores, once again with Raiders.com. In the previous question, I also forgot to congratulate you on your Hall of Fame career, and much deserved. And going into that question, with it, the whole process of having to wait so long to actually get your induction, was it one of those things where when it did finally happen, were you in awe or were you fully expecting it? Is this something that you are still like on cloud nine about, or is it something that you feel has been a long time coming and you've been ready to be a Hall of Famer for a long time?
Well, first of all, I was kind of expecting it sooner, and it didn't happen. So then I got skeptical about it. And I was a little guarded in as far as anticipating that this might be the year. So I wasn't going to count anything. And then when it did finally happen, when Mr. Baker knocked on my door here at my home in Palm Springs, and I saw that big body coming through the doorway, I said, "Oh man, it happened." That's when you realize it's happened. And I tell you, there's no better feeling. I had tears in my eyes. I have tears in my eyes right now just thinking about it, because that's as far as that's a lifetime achievement, and that's forever. And my feeling is that when you make the Hall of Fame, you don't make the Hall of Fame. You and your family make the Hall of Fame, and your friends, and your coaches, and your players. We all go in together. I'm just a representative of a wonderful group and a wonderful game.
Thank you so much, Coach. You deserve it.
All right, see you.
Levi, thanks for that question. It teed it up nicely for Coach Flores to introduce the idea of coming to Canton, and we are waiting for you, Coach. 3 weeks from today will be the Hall of Fame game and your first appearance as a well-deserved member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and you will elevate the museum, and we are looking forward to that. So thank you, everybody, for a great session.
You bet. Thank you.
Great stuff. Not sure why it took so damn long to get Tom Flores at the Hall of Fame, but he's in now. Congratulations, Mr. Flores. You're in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We're at the bottom of the hour, but we're certainly not done yet. Coming up after the break, Pro Football Hall of Fame member Charles Woodson here on the MeanGene Show, KDWN 720 AM, 101.5 FM, Las Vegas.